So in the interior we've got a custom suede dash, some nice red pinstripe stitching to go with the red full Racer Boy seat belts. Up top we've got a custom roof console. It's got the water temp and the volt gauge, a few rocker switches for auxiliaries and all your accessories and whatnot, a few speakers. In the centre we've got a Kingz custom centre console. It's got rocker switches as well, dual volt gauge, cigarette lighters, USB ports, everything. Besides that, the front dash is pretty standard. It's just been all painted black with interior paint. Over here we got a dual pod pillar, exhaust temp, boost gauge, just keep an eye on everything. This is just to sort of keep it a bit authentic. This is off a Hilux Surf, it's not really off this model. Sort of moved it a bit on the dash, used to sit over near the passenger side. That's just so when you know you're a bit how you're going off-road. And then yeah, we got a little low range off-road gear stick shifter for a bit of looks. Full carpet interior, and in the back it's all sorted, and then suede on the doors. So generally when we go off-road, we've got the fridge on this side, and this is just a box kept inside the car. It's just a cargo box, got all like your service parts, so you've got belts, tools, everything else. And in there's just a little power unit. All behind here is just all like 12 volt systems and power units and whatnot to provide for the sub, the amp, and everything else. Yeah, just for the fridge, like I said earlier, the fridge goes here. It gets pretty squishy, there's not much you can do with the back of the cars, but that's about it for the rear. So the rear, we got a custom Kingz Customs tray. Sort of built this because on the time of the market there wasn't anything wide enough to suit the body style. We used to have a well body on the back of it. To suit the wide guards, there's nothing really there to pump it out. So we started with 3-fold guards, mud guards, and then just sort of built off that. I've always loved that style. It's hideous, but you've got to always have big mud flaps just to cover the tyre. And then yeah, we've got our batteries in here. You can fit 3 batteries. We've got our cargo hoops and tie down points there. Sort of designed to match basically the length of the front guard, so it's about 1300 long. The front car from the door sill to the bull bar is 1300. So it's just trying to get those proportions right. So that's why when you look at a car, you're like, oh, it looks good. We got just reverse lights here, some slimline rear brakes and indicators. Just sort of to cover the whole coil conversion in the rear, basically. It's built to have a slide-on canopy one day when it gets built, and then all airbag system ports all up in here. So pump your air up there and raise the car up and down. Airbags aren't in it at the moment. And then yeah, down here we've just got some dirty boxes. So dirty boxes, they just got like snatch straps, you know, belts, tools, anything you just want to chuck in there. Anything when you're camping and whatnot. Down the bottom here we've got some 12mm recovery hitches. They haven't been used obviously because they're so red. And then underneath, I suppose you can go on the exhaust, we've got twin soot, just double split, double dump. It's only split at the back, that just sort of helps create like a bit of a crackling noise, sort of like the V8 thong slap, but off a standard little 3L diesel. Suspension here, we've got a Hilux Surf 130R. It's basically just been grafted, bought a half chop chassis. That's where it started with the rear basically. It just wanted some smoother ride. It used to be leaf spring all the way around. Chucked the Surf chassis, cross members and all that, cut it all out of the chassis, chucked it in this one, made it all fit, exactly the same rails, so it's just trying to cut it all neatly, fully welded it. Because of the fuel tank setup and where I've put the batteries, I've had to move to a custom 3-link setup. So basically, still runs the panhard bar. That's the Superior Engineering panhard bar. It's just got a custom 3rd-link pinion arm up the top, and yeah, it's just got custom Kingz Customs lower trailing arms, which adequate length of travel for geometry, and basically they're just a basic part from Toyota itself out of a 80 series Land Cruiser, so they're longer than the Hilux Surf ones, but it'll allow me to keep my spacing right if I chuck up with a 4-inch lift in it, which it used to be. Paint colour, it's off of Ford Focus, it's built off a Ford Focus Stealth Grey, with a bit of a tinge of blue accents in there. Painted this, not in this workshop, back in the shed back home, and did the whole job ourselves. It's pretty much, it's a solid colour, it's got no metallic in it, sort of just gives it that standard, like just base sort of look. Makes everything else pop on the car. The mirrors, they're off of Patrol. They've been retrofitted on here. You can't actually buy them for this car or any Hilux unless you start looking at the newer model Hiluxes. So we've retrofitted them on there, and then countless messages about how to get them or where to buy them from. The custom-made roof rack, made in-house here. It picks up just four bolts, 2 bolts each side, and it all sits in the gutter lines of the car. It runs 2 twin 42-inch light bars. One we just got a Kingz custom logo cover over the top. It sits about 30mm higher than the roof line, so it can still get into all the car parks and whatnot. Up top is just like a splashback material acrylic, just keeps the heat away. And there's, like I said, 30mm above the roof line. That's where I throw all the steel and work stuff and everything else up there. These are all tie down points all the way along, and it sort of just gives it that trophy truck look from the front, where it's all aggressive and just keeps it all nice and low at the front. So up front here we've got some custom Hanneman Racing fenders. They're from America, over at Hanneman Racing Industries. They are 4.5 inch wider, than factory, and they've also raised the eyebrow height on this vehicle 100mm. So it's only sitting at a 2-inch lift, but it looks roughly about 4-inch lift, purely because of that eyebrow height. Opens the guard up, gives it a bit more of a stance at the whole car. Not many of these driving around over here in Perth. Up the front we've got a Kingz Customs coilover conversion. It runs 2 Kingz off-road racing shockeys. This is about 12-inch stroke. Provides adequate amount of flex. It's all linked by 80 series radius arms and a 80 series panhard bar. It's all factory components, so if one of them break, just go in, get another one. Don't have to adjust anything. The remote reservoirs, it's all adjustable nitrogen shocks. And up the front as well, we've got custom brake lines to suit the length of travel. It's got the IFS IFS power steering box out of the Hilux Surf. That just allows the whole setup to work, but then it switches over back to the Land Cruiser tie rod arms. It allows about 3 inches of up travel and 4 inches of down travel with the custom setup. But obviously then the tyres with the up travel start coming into play. But that's what we pump the guards out for, to get a bit of room for error in it. Over the top, we've got, to support the towers, we've got a custom made brace that just ties the 2 towers in between each other. It pretty much increases the strength 70% basically. Originally it was a leaf sprung setup, called a rough rears up front, and then slowly just turned into a coil conversion. So up front we've got a Kingz Customs bull bar. Never really liked the style of bull bars that are on the market. I don't run a winch, so I just wanted something that's basically a bumper sort of style looking build. It's only 120mm from the front of the car, so it does give it that smashed in look, but it also makes it look a little bit tougher and wider. Our style of bull bars generally end up a lot wider front section, and then they just generally wing off back to wrap around the car. We've got the indicators at the front with a bit of style, about 34 stainless bolts there, just some front fog lights, and then we got original tow hooks down underneath. They used to be the old spring hangers, so we just use them, slide the bolt and the snatch strap through there if we need it. Up the front here, hanging out the grills, the front mount. So, the turbo is pushing about 25, 28 psi through it, so try and keep things a bit cooler on the EGTs at the back there. Built a custom airbox. This is one of our first airboxes we've sort of delved into. We've changed it from being on the right to on the left now, so on the driver's side. We're not running a custom snorkel just because I don't want to drill a hole in these big expensive guards. The colour scheme, there's not much actually going on in here, it's just a lot of paint and a lot of time in the paint. There's not much done to the engine besides the Mambatek 19t 19t turbo and a custom short log manifold down in there. We've got the custom Red Bull mounts. That's where all the colour scheme basically came from. They're little diff breathers, so someone that there. We've got a little inline diff breather for the front and rear diff. And they're just put on display, just for a bit of show there. But yeah, basically what makes the engine bay, I suppose, is just the colours, the stainless piping for the front mount. It's all around fairly neat, and yeah, just the overall colour scheme. So up front it used to be well, the whole car used to be leaf spring all the way around, so its original diff, it's just been braced up and then all the mounts have been cut off. It still has a few upper front leaf spring mounts, but that just serves as a bump stop purpose now. We've braced it up, put a nice little Kingz custom logo on there, bash plates, everything else, the works basically. New arms, like new mounts for the radius arms to work, and then yeah, so it's basically still a Hilux diff at the front.